Oh, pickles. Welcome, blah, blah, blah. Remember. Okay. We did it. Keep that there. Alrighty. Yeah, let's see if I can refresh this. Definitely was not prepared. So let me go here real quick. There I am. Doing live chat. Cool. Alrighty. Well, if I go here, it's a very laggy delay. I can definitely scoot up more. So you're going to do, whoa. Hi. Sorry. It's like my second time ever in life doing live, so I'm just trying to figure it all out. Okay. Sorry for all the confusion. Hey guys. All right, so we are going to be doing, I think I have it all. I can't. Sorry. It's been a crazy week, crazy few weeks. So I'm just trying to get this. Probably should have got situated before going live, but you know, you only live once, right? All right. So I have, okay. I'm trying to watch it on my stream so that I can kind of see. I apologize. I'm starting to get my voice back, all that good stuff. All right. Now, see, my kiddos broke my marker. Looks like we're in good shape. So we are going to be doing Common Core math. We're just going to be, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes or until my kiddo wakes up, just going over a bunch of different problems, because this seems to be one of not only the most viewed little video that is on my channel, and I've even done multiple of it, and it just seems to be a very common thing that people either not struggle with, but it's just something new. And so for parents, how to teach it, and then for students, how to do it for yourself. So I love to go back and see how my voice sounds, because to me it sounds very like, I don't know, not normal. So we are going to do something simple. Let's start with, this one's not even written down, but something as very simple as 4 times 2. Obviously, we know 4 times 2 is 8, but if we wanted to do in the boxes just to see for a single digit to single digit, it would simply be one box with the left number on top and the right number off to the side, and then you basically will multiply those two together to get 8, and then you add everything inside, which equals 8. So that one's a pretty simple one. So we have the idea. One key thing that you really need to know to do Common Core multiplication is knowing extended form, because you will use that for every single problem that you have come by. So if I were to do, I wonder if I can see anybody else. And I'll save this later and cut it and all that good stuff. But what we can do is 23. Yeah, so we have a problem. I'll do both common and Common Core. And what I mean by that is we'll do it the normal, the normal way that I learned it back in grade school to what they're teaching now, which is the Common Core. So 23 times 4. So the normal way would simply just be place them on top of each other. So you have the bigger number on top, multiply it by the smaller number. And then you always work from right to left. So we're going to start with our ones, and we're going to multiply it across. So we have 4 times 3, which is 12. 12 has a ones in a tens place, so the 2 goes in the 1. Carry the 1 on top. Then you have 4 times 2, which is 8. you do have something on top, so you need to add that as well. So 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1 more gives you 9. So 23 times 4 is 92. Nice and simple there. But now we want to do it the Common Core way that we're being taught in school. So we will go ahead and break down 23 into expanded form. So 23 in expanded form is you're going to basically expand it. So saying it out loud, you have 20 plus 3. So that's your expanded form. 4 is already expanded by itself, so it's just times 4. So now we want to even break it down. So we have 20 plus 3, and then you have your 4. We want to put it into our box. So we need at least 2 boxes on top, and the reason why I know that is because I have 2 separate numbers, and I need 1 box on the side. So we're going to simply just break it like that. Yeah, sorry, thinking a little too much there. So then you'll just kind of fill it in. So on top we have our 20 and our 3. On our side we have our 4. So the next step in Common Core math is we're going to take everything in this side and we're going to multiply it all the way throughout. So we have 4 times 20, and the reason being that we are doing expanded form is because it should be more simpler to multiply at the end of the day. So 4 times 2 we know is 8. And if you know the 0 rule, you just tack on the 0 at the end. So 20 times 4 is 80. Then 4 times 3 is going to be 12. From there, we take everything that's inside our boxes, bring them out into a column. So we have 80 and 12. And then we're going to simply just add it all together. So 0 times plus 2 is 2. 8 plus 1 is 9. And then we got our answer, which is 92 once again. So let's go ahead and keep going. We'll do another problem. Alrighty. Another question that I had, well, let's do this, was if we did a 2-digit, so 94 times another 2-digit, 36. So how do we solve for that using Common Core? So this time we're going to do the box method first, and then we'll do the simpler version second. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is take my 94 and expand it out. And we can do 90 plus 4. So it's going to be your expanded form for 94. 36, we're going to expand it. So just, again, saying it out loud makes it a lot easier. So we have 30 plus 6. Okay, so now that we have it in expanded form, we're going to do our box. So we know we need at least two boxes on top, 2 boxes along the side. So we'll go ahead and make that. So we have 2 boxes on the side, 2 boxes on top. And then we're going to just add our numbers in. So we have 90 and our 4. We have our 30 and our 6. And then we're good there. So this is what your box should be looking like from here. Now we want to do our multiplying. So we're going to take, what I can do is just, got all the time in the world right now, don't we? It's definitely a lot different doing it live because, I don't know. Anyway, so you have 90 times 30. So we want to figure that out. We have 30 times 4. So we want to figure that out. We also want to figure out 6 times 90. We also want to know 6 times 4. Okay? So we know that 90 times 30, again using the 0 rule, is you take your 2 zeros out and just multiply these 2. So 9 times 3 is 27. And then you add all your zeros you see. So 0, 0. So 90 times 30 is 2,700. Fun little trick. And then you have 30 times 4. So again, remove the 0. So 3 times 4 is 12. And then add your 0 back in. So 120. Then you have 6 times 9, which is 54. And you're going to add in your 0. And then 6 times 4, which is going to give you 24. So now we have all of our stuff multiplied. The next step is to take all of our answers, bring them out into a column, so then we can just simply add together. So let's go ahead and do that. I like to go biggest to smallest, so we have 2,700. We have 540. We have 120 and 24. Let's check my math, make sure we're looking good. And then we add from right to left. So we have 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we have 7, 8, 13, and then 2, 3, 3. 3,384 is our answer. So that should be our answer. From here, I'm going to erase it, and then we're going to do it the, I don't want to call it the normal way, but it's the simpler way, I guess you can say. So let's erase all of this. Okay, so now we're going to take the same problem. We're going to do it the other multiplying. So we're going to take 94. Hopefully you can see the blue pretty good. Times 36. And now we are going to solve. So the first step that we want to do is start with our ones and go from our ones to our tens. So we take 6 times 4, which is going to be 24. So you have your 4 down, your 20 is in your tens place, so you're going to carry it on top. 6 times 9 is 54, plus your 2 more up here. So 54, 55, 56. And then you can kind of remove your 2. So now going on the next 3, it's in the tens place, so we have to fill it in with a 0 for our ones place because we're starting in our tens. Then we're going to do 3 times 4, which is 12. So we're going to again put the 2 down below, carry the 1. 3 times 9 is 27, plus 1 more, you're going to get 28. And then again, we are going to add 6, 7, 8, whoops, 13, and 3. And we got the same answer as we did with our Common Core. Just a little less paperwork, but we're still getting the same answer at the end of the day. Why do we do Common Core math now? Why is it that it's required in school? And why is it that students are learning it and teachers are teaching it to them, and then parents are getting frustrated? Well, parents are getting frustrated because we were never taught it, which makes sense. And it's definitely something that takes a lot longer to do. And the reason why they are doing it is when we're doing the simpler math, we were just taught just to do it. And that's just how it works. You get your answer, and there was no explanation for it. When you do the Common Core math and doing the boxes, it's just another way to learn how to do it. Someone that's more visual might see it to be, a lot easier to solve for that person, where another person, the simpler version may be easier for them. At the end of the day, they all end up learning the original version, but this is just showing and teaching. You got to teach it in different methods, different ways, using maybe, I don't know. I was kind of rambling, so we'll just stop there. Let's go ahead and move on. Do another one. So one was asking to do, what about 3-digit by a 1-digit? So let's do 2 times 146. So of course, the first thing we're going to do is throw this down into expanded form. So we're going to say it out loud. We have 140 and 6. 2 is already in its most expanded form, so we're good there. So our box needs to be at least 1 by 3. So we're going to go ahead and make our box. So we have our 1, and then we have our 3. So let's go ahead and put them. So our 2, our 100, our 40, and our 6. Okay? So we have it all set up, ready to go. Now we want to go ahead and solve. So we have 2 times 100, 2 times 40, 2 times 6. Using the 0 method, 2 times 1 is 2. Add the 2 zeros, you get 200. 2 times 4 is 8. Add your 0. 2 times 6 is 12. Once we have all of our answers, we're going to bring them out into a column. Again, I like to go largest number to smallest. Just makes it easier to add. in my opinion. And then we add straight down. So we have 292. So we have 292 is our answer. So now let's go ahead and do simple. Make sure we have that understanding. And go from there. What I like to do is, as I get more comfortable doing these lives, I like to start doing this on a weekly, so then if more people have questions or if there's something that they really want to dive into, I really want to keep specific to one lesson, one piece. So maybe we can do, I know another big video was taking a fraction and turning it into a decimal, or having two fractions and seeing which one's bigger. That was a very common clicked video. But yeah, we'll see where we go from here. But this one is definitely a top tier one. So now we're going to do just simple form. We have 146 times 2. We take our 2 and we work from right to left. So 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 4 is 8. Plus 1 more is 9. And 2 times 1 is 2. We have our answer, 292 to 292. Ta-da! All right. Now, my kiddo's still asleep, so we can do a few more. I made some, like a little cheat sheet for me. Another big one was, so this one wouldn't be so common for Common Core. This would become like a half-page problem, almost. But somebody had asked me, what if we did 3-digit by 2-digit? And we can definitely do it. We can do as many digits as we want. It's just going to become a bigger box and essentially a lot more zeros to work with. But that's okay. So the problem that I had was 42 times 23. All right. So our first, sorry, I got a cheat sheet here. I got a cheat sheet over here. So just, working with both. First thing we need to do is expanded form, which I have a video on expanded form, a very more detailed. If you want to go through it, I'll try to, if I can figure out how to edit this video, I'll put a little tag or a link or whatever. But let's do this. So expanded form from 142 is going to be 142. And expanded form for 23 is going to be 20 and 3. So our box needs to be at least 3 by 2. So let's go ahead and we'll make our box. So there's our 2. And there's our 3. Okay? We're almost done setting up. So we'll go ahead and do our 3-digit one on top. We have 100. Another question I got was, does it matter which one? So if I did 3 boxes down and 2 boxes on top, is that going to make a difference when I solve for the problem? Absolutely not. It's more just preference. I always like to do the bigger, larger number on the top and then do the smaller, shorter number along the side. Visually for me, that just seems a little bit more clean. But whatever way you want to do it, you're going to get the same answer. So again, we have 100 plus 40 plus 2. And then we have our 20 plus 3. And now we just multiply everything in between. So I'll write it in so we can visually see. So we're supposed to be multiplying 20 times 100. I don't know if you can see that. Kinda. Let's see. I'll try and make it a little bit bigger if I can. 20 times 100. You see that better? Yeah. We're doing 20 times 40. And then we're going to do 20 times 2. So that's what we want to do on our top row. For the bottom row, we're wanting to do 3 times 100. 3 times 40. 3 times 2. All right? So you're going to pause. Well, I guess we're live. I'm going to try to solve it before I do. See what answers you get. So this one is going to be doing the 0 method. It's going to be 2,000. This one is going to be 800. we have 40, then we have 300, we have 120, and 6. Okay? So once we have all of our answers, we're going to take all of our answers, bring them on over into a column, and then we're going to solve. So again, I like to go large to small. So we have 2,800. Another thing, if you're really like to know specific, another thing that really worked for me when I was learning this was every time I wrote a number over here so that you don't double write, because that can happen and it will happen and it has happened, is as soon as you write 2,000, cross out your box. Wrote 800, cross out your box. Now I'm going to go largest to smallest, I'm going to write 300, and I'm going to cross out my box. I'm going to write 120, and cross out my box. Write 40 and cross out my box. And last but not least, 6. And from here, just add everything together. So we have 6. 6, 4, 5, 6. Then we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Carry the 1 and 3. So our answer, 142 times 23, is equal to 3,266. And there's our answer. Woohoo! Alrighty. Moving on. Let's see. All right, we'll do, or I lied. Before we move on, we need to solve it the regular way. So let's go ahead and do that. Whoa. The funny thing is now this time I'm just talking to myself and it's not so bad. And the very first time I tried this, it was like a lot more people. So if this is the way that it goes, I'm quite all right with it because I'm not like so nervous or anything anymore. Anyway, enough rambling. Now let's just solve it the normal way. So we have 142 times 23, and we solve. So first thing we want to do is we start from right to left, from our ones to our tens to our hundreds. So we're going to start with our ones. So we have our ones. We have 3 times 2, which is going to be 6. 3 times 4, which is going to be 12. And carry the 1. 3 times 1, which is 3, plus 1 more, which is going to be 4. So now we finished everything in our ones. We're going to our tens. So we're going to fill her in. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. And 2 times 1 is 2. And from here, we're just going to add everything together. So we have 6. We have 6. We have 12, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 3. 3,266. Ta-da! This is our Common Core math. If we want, that's really all the problems that I had. We could do, nope, I think that's where we're going to end. I think we're just going to end here. It's been great chatting. So we can do another video on Common Core. We can do, maybe I'll do fractions next time, maybe simple adding and subtracting, whatever we want to do. But I'm going to go ahead and end this one here. It was great talking to everybody, and I will see you all next time. Oh man, did I lose my, no I didn't. Okay. Have a good one, guys. How do I end?